Taylor Schabusiness was back in court over her new charges, and it was interesting. We're going to talk about it in today's video. It seems like everywhere I turn today, the headlines are, so-and-so's accessing your personal information. This was leaked over here. That was leaked over there. And that's why using Aura, who's sponsoring today's video, is going to be in your best interest. Look, protecting your personal information has never been more important, and that's where Aura comes in to help. They actively scan the dark web, the web, all those things, and they let you know instantly if your information has been compromised. If somebody tries using my bank account information, my personal information, any of that stuff, right? They let you know right away, no questions asked. But also, they offer $5 million in identity theft insurance, so you're covered. Now, here is the number one thing I absolutely love Aura for. They will seek out and send out immediate opt-out emails, any of that kind of stuff to data brokers who sell your information. I cannot tell you how much I absolutely love this about Aura. They have cut down my spam box. My phone doesn't ring as much with these calls, literally. And I can tell when I need to go and check things and refresh them. My voicemail will start filling up or whatever. I'm like, hold on, let me go make sure Aura's still doing its thing. And then they will come in and save the day. Now also, with all the stuff going on recently, their VPN is amazing too. They have over 100 virtual locations, and it gives you an extra layer of security online. It's a super easy sign-up process. They have great parental controls. I mean, they scan the web, they do all this stuff, they send out the things. You get these critical alerts that come in, and it'll be interesting because you'll do stuff like whatever that might be for your own personal thing, whether it's a loan application or this or that or whatever, right? And they'll let you know, hey, look, A, B, and C is taking place. It's pretty amazing to me, especially in today's age where all of our stuff is online in some way, shape, or form. Knowing that they act as this catch-all for that to let you know what's going on with you and your personal information literally is just a dream come true. So look, you can go to my link. It's aura.com/reportinglive. You're gonna get 14 days for free. It's a great way to try it out and see all the things that they do. It's up to us to protect our own data at the end of the day, and Aura helps us do exactly that. So go ahead and give them a try. Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the Sofa. Sofa's there. I'm right here. Bo and Luke are over there sleeping. I hope you all are doing well. If you're new to the channel, my name is Paul. If you're not new to the channel, my name is Paul also. You know what? I got that backwards, but we're just going with it. Know that the point of it is that my name is Paul. Okay. It ain't Schabusiness though. And today that is the point of this video. We have another Taylor Schabusiness update. We're going to mostly be looking at news clips and some courtroom footage of her first appearance back in court on these new charges. What we'll do is we'll do a very quick overview of the case. Then we'll look at these different clips. We'll use them as talking points. Now, if you want to know more about this, I did some big videos on this, like when the actual trial was going on, it was completely next level. Now, the victim in this case is Shad Therian. On February 23rd, 2022, his life was taken and he was taken apart, I guess you could say. That's the appropriate word here on YouTube, by Taylor Schabusiness. This was for gratification of an adult pleasure type, if that makes sense. It was horrible. It was awful. His mother found parts of him and Taylor was quickly arrested. I almost said quickly arrested. I'm trying not to say show with everything. She was quickly arrested. This is in Green Bay, and went to trial. Obviously, she was found guilty, life without the possibility of parole, plus 10.5 years, I believe. So she was very notorious. We're going to look at some clips for people who aren't familiar with it or whatever, of her courtroom appearances in the past, as well as her behaviors, things of that nature. So this went very viral. Well, she's back in the headlines again, back in court for new charges. So let's go ahead and use this time to look at a news clip that is talking about said new charges so we can all get on the same page. But just know that it is on an assault on a worker at the prison. And let's hear this and we'll just get a little bit more into it and then we'll go from there.
The woman convicted of killing and dismembering 24-year-old Shad Therian back in 2022 received a brand new charge for allegedly assaulting a sergeant at the same facility where she was dismembered spend the rest of her life behind bars. It happened at Taycheedah Correctional Institution back in July. According to a criminal complaint, Schabusiness was taken to the medical room to remove a staple lodged in her arm. When the nurse began to remove the staple, Schabusiness pushed the nurse and the sergeant stepped in. Schabusiness swung a metal tray at the sergeant, according to the complaint, who then used pepper spray. Other staff arrived and helped restrain Schabusiness.
Okay, now they're showing clips from her first trial there, and you saw her, she had the spit thing on. I mean, it's not often that we see a female offender, a defendant, that is this violent, number one, but also that they're having to utilize these type of things on, so that part's very jarring. Now you heard what also she described here, and that was the new charges where this is, Taylor acting out. I literally keep wanting to say, I'm having to stop myself from saying I should never have done the intro that way. It is from Taylor acting out and attacking people. This is my thing with Taylor. We watch a lot of defendants, not a lot of them. I mean, obviously the people who we follow here and we watch, it's like, what's up with them? There's something not right. What's going on? You know what I mean? This is another level of it. Like, she takes things to a level that I haven't seen. Often in male defendants as well, right? That's her level of violence. In fact, even before she got to trial, she was showing out and doing this crazy kind of stuff on her own lawyer. Let's take a quick look again, a flashback, so you can see the lengths she was willing to go to in the courtroom before she even had a chance in front of a jury. You heard the guy, stop it, stop it. That was her attorney that she attacked in the courtroom, right? Now you can imagine that it didn't end well for her. This is the level she'll go to. Now also keep in mind when we do watch the clip here in we got a couple more clips to go through. So when we see her courtroom appearance, you're gonna understand why there's so many police surrounding her. Her behavior is so off the hook, anything can pop off at any moment. And I do feel like she's getting worse and worse. By the time she arrived here, in all honesty, she probably didn't have much to lose. Now, one thing that we learned about her is that there was this kind of discrepancy when we heard from family members and this, that, and the other of, it's almost like she stood a chance. She could have had a life. She had people here and there and whatnot. It wasn't like she was completely left out there, and abandoned. It's almost like watching the Megan Boswell trial right now, where one of the surprises with that is that I'm like, oh, she had agency. She had resources. She was surrounded by people that seemed to care about what took place and whatnot. That being said, let's go in and watch a clip from Law and Crime. This is of her in her first trial. Look at her as they're talking, like, testimony and whatnot. Her faces, her interactions with whoever's in the audience, her interactions with the camera, the whole 9 yards.
Well, we can tell you what it looked like, and so you don't need to see a picture of it. Photos can be helpful. They can. And so I understand that argument. The doctor could just simply describe everything, but the question is...
So again, this smirking, this laughing, it's very inappropriate for the situation given, right? She would be doing this when they were talking about horrific things that she did with the victim and his body. Let's look at one more clip. Now, this is after the crime. Soon after they catch her, they arrest her, they take her in, they're taking photos of her body and stuff like that. Look at how she treats this.
All right.
We'll take you inside the interrogation room when Schabusiness first speaks to detectives.
I mean, she's posing for the camera, she's doing things, she's laughing, and even in this interview, she's laughing and giggling, and this is just a big game to her. And again, if you haven't followed this case, I mean, trigger warning, the things that she did to this young man are insane, okay? It's Jeffrey Dahmer level, right? Now, that's gotten us caught up. What I want to do is we're going to look at her courtroom appearance. One thing, I'm going to kind of talk over some of it so that you can hear the points that I'm talking about. There's not much talking when it comes to the judge. This is more body language, stuff like that. Now, too, keep in mind, if you're new to this channel, I ain't no doctor, I ain't no lawyer, ain't no cop, ain't no therapist. I'm just a guy with a sofa and some sass, okay? These are just my opinions. They ain't professional, right? It's just from years of watching true crime and life itself, I guess, right? Anyways, let's get to watch them. So you see her coming in, right? She's coming in, she's looking around. They pull the thing out for her. She looks bothered. Now, she looks just annoyed, okay? Now, it's arguably, to say she's serving life out. She's here. She doesn't care. She's annoyed. I mean, I get it, right? I would think that she'd be excited to kind of get out and do something new. However, who am I? Let's keep going. Okay, Okay, now I want to stop there. A couple of things on this clip right here. First of all, if you notice how many cops are standing behind her, well, remember how I told you saw the clips, right? There's a reason why there's so much security. Anything can pop off. If I was that lawyer, if I was her lawyer, oh, I'd be nervous, right? But secondly, when she came in, and she'll do this number, pretend that y'all are like looking at me this way, and I'm her. She's like, and doing that thing where she looks confused, annoyed, pissed, like all this stuff at the same time. And this is where I go into the level of like, yes, we can sit here and say, and I'll use the trial we're currently following, like Megan Boswell, like, yes, something's not right, okay? Anyone who's willing to do the things that she's, you know, at this point it's allegedly done, she's not been convicted yet, but, you know, you do the math on that, ain't right. This is a different level of ain't right. Like, there's something truly going on here. And I just feel like it's almost like you have to question, is she aware of her surroundings at times? And that's one reason why they're here in court and what they'll decide ultimately. But for now, let's keep going and talking about it.
Good morning. How are you doing? Good. You can go out and drive?
Yeah, yes,
I'm glad to hear that.
Okay, now on that one there, I don't know. I'm assuming she turned and looked at her lawyer. Because you're going to go, yeah, good morning. Yeah. Here's my thing. Why does she act like she just noticed him there? Why is she kind of being like, oh, hey, what's up? And it's like, why don't you come right in and be like, oh, hey, how's it going? It's that disassociation with reality around her. You know, or she just doesn't care, right? She might just truly be annoyed that she's there and not care, you know, and it's just like, what? Ugh, you, hey, what's up? What do you want? You know, she might look at everyone there, even if they're there to help her, as the enemy.
So please sit down and check this process.
So when you sit down, the judge will come in.
Okay, now I know that part was quiet or whatever, but number one, I just can't get over how many officers from the prison or whoever they are there. Now, it looks like she's asking, so they're standing up, they're waiting for the judge to come, right? The judge is gonna come in, they're gonna do the thing, they're gonna sit down. Then it sounds like she's saying, can I sit down? And the cop's saying something to the degree of like, wait for the judge, and then her lawyer even makes a joke, as soon as you sit down, the judge will come. You know, but this is where she acts kind of annoyed, and again, to someone in her position, she might be annoyed at the judge. She doesn't, why would she like them? They put her away for life, you know what I mean? So there's a level of it to where she probably is like, you know, doesn't seem to abide by the normal commonalities amongst people with respect and things like this. But again, I mean, was Darrell Brooks respectful in court? No, right? I mean, we don't really expect this, but at the same time, it's almost human nature too, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, let's keep watching. I mean, again, to me, she looks more, I know we're looking at the side of her face, but I'm just going back to the, you know, when she came in and we saw her. She looks like her face is getting more hardened. I don't know if that's the right word for it. There's something just, that she looks more off. Okay. She just looks more off. Now, oftentimes in these situations here, we see them, they're getting the cameras right. They're getting this. That's why they're zooming in on stuff and getting some B-roll and, you know, doing things of this nature. Now, when the judge comes in, which will be momentarily, I think we're getting ready to watch it, the demeanor will change. And again, it's a very short hearing.
All rise.
Okay, so here we go.
Please be seated.
Now, just real quick before you go, you see that wide shot there. I mean, literally, they have cops all over. They are guarded. I mean, this is the reputation she's garnered, and you'll hear one of the first things the judge talks about when she gets going, so just keep that in mind as we listen.
Before I call the case to order, if at any point I order the courtroom to be cleared, I'll ask everyone to step out. And then I will ask that our media turn it off, because then it will no longer be an open courtroom.
So before they go, that's what I'm talking about right there, right? If they clear it out, go on, get out. Okay, go to running.
Court calls State of Wisconsin versus Taylor Schabusiness, case number 24 CF 1048. Appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. District Attorney Tony and ADA Krieger for the state.
Taylor Schabusiness is personally present. She's in custody currently with Attorney Curtis Joka.
Are we in victim rights compliance?
We are, Your Honor.
We are set here for a preliminary hearing. Attorney Joka, what is the status?
Your Honor,
Now, before we hear the status and all that, you saw where she looked over at him and she was like, You know, she has this like there's something in her eyes. Well, number one, there's like this kind of soullessness, but there's almost like this screaming for help vibe that I get, right? Beneath all the weird stuff going on there, it's this very feral. That's the word I'm looking for. She seems incredibly feral.
We're requesting under Wisconsin stats, section 971.14, that she be evaluated by a psychologist or psychiatrist.
And that's based on your personal observations?
Correct.
Is there any objection from state?
Not under these circumstances.
Okay, so you heard him say, she was like, is that, you know, your personal observations, whatever? He's like, yeah. Okay, he met with her, and then you heard the state, not under these circumstances. I just feel like whatever situation she has going on is going to deteriorate behind bars, right? I don't think she'll ever get out, even if she had a chance for parole. I don't think any of those things would happen. Whether she fried her brain on drugs, or whether she had underlying issues that just with time, or maybe trigger them to come out even more, whatever. Or maybe just pure evil, or maybe all three of those mixed together. I don't know, right? I believe him when he says, I've seen something. Like, I don't think it's a ploy, okay? Like, I think it's a legitimate question and concern that we need to get her checked out.
Well, I would note that the court has reviewed the criminal complaint. They would find there's probable cause for purposes of suspending the proceedings to allow for a competency evaluation to be done. We'll order that a competency evaluation is done by the department, and that we will hold a hearing upon its return. It's my understanding Ms. Schabusiness would like to be present. We'll have her present for all required hearings. Is there anything else from the state?
No, the court indicated they found probable cause from the complaint.
I did.
Nothing additional, thank you.
Defense?
Nothing else, thank you.
All right. With that, we are adjourned.
Okay, now real quick, so you heard a couple of things there. You heard them say she wants to be present for the hearings. They're going to suspend the things, they're going to do it through the department. She wants to be present, so I mean, that's going to be interesting. Number two, you saw towards the end where she's like looking and she's like this, pretend y'all are, whoever she's looking at, y'all are them, like, that constant look on her face. I almost feel like this. If she's looking at someone, like if she asks somebody to come, it's almost like that's her main point in doing this, more so than going through with the hearing, okay? Like it's almost like she's just getting out. She's like, oh, hey, my girlfriend's there, my boyfriend or whoever, like my dad, whoever, right? It's like giving that kind of energy. So let's look at this next one and we'll see, look at her, you know, her facial expressions, this kind of stuff, and I'll talk over it as it goes. So you see her kind of doing that confused look, them coming and talking to her again. They've excused her and she's just getting up and walking out. You know, this, you know, kind of whatever, nothing there. All those cops following her, all those people. I mean, this is big business right here. All over one inmate. Look at how many resources go into this one inmate here. This is the thing, like with situations like Schabusiness, other cases we watch, you know, when people talk to me about my interest in true crime and this and the other, something like this fascinates me because I am so curious to know what's going on behind those looks I'm talking about on her face, behind those dark eyes. If you watch her trial and whatnot, it's like there's really nothing behind here. There's something missing. And again, it's a very intricate trial. There's many people, like even her father and whatnot, you know, got up there. And while yes, it was like there's a lot of issues going on, at the same time, she had other people that really cared about her. So you're just like, what, you know, what went wrong? You know, and especially on the level of, it's one thing to be like, okay, somebody had some troubles and a troubled situation versus this level. What she did to this dude and then mocked him and said it was basically like hot. You know, the things that she did is beyond comprehension. Now, I do think some of it was just literally like a drug-induced, you know, whatever you want to call it. So, but this scenario here where she just randomly attacked, and again, I'm not a doctor when I say this, but it's almost like there's some kind of frontal lobe situation going on to where there's not like, I'll almost say this, like intrusive thoughts. You know how you make jokes like intrusive thoughts, I'm going to push that button. She's literally that, where it's like intrusive thoughts, beep, you know, but it's, I punched someone and then somebody did this and she punched them. She could have PTSD. You know what I'm saying? And when she gets triggered, it's bam. It's just, the whole thing baffles me. I think that she will continue to do this. I think that this will be just what she does. I think she'll be one of those inmates that makes their time go by fighting, by getting into drama, by doing stuff. This is probably a big adventure to her to get out and like go to court, you know, and do this. She might show out in court. The fact that she wants to show up and it looks like she's looking at somebody over there, she's probably, you know, got friends or something. Who knows? So we'll have to see. I mean, if this ends up going to trial, right? It'll be interesting to see. I don't know how it works behind bars, where if you catch a charge, like how do they determine if they take it to trial? Like did Taylor say, I want to fight it? And so they're going to be like, well, we're going to take it. Or did the prison and the court system say, no, we're going to pick up this charge and nail her? You see what I mean? Like, I don't know. So anyways, let me know what you think down in the comment section. I do appreciate it if you are still watching. And if you are still watching while you're in the comment section, if you could drop some little sofas off for myself, Rosco and Spirit, Bo and Luke, and the rest of the Sofa Squad. So we'll have a place to hang out, talk about this case, all the other cases we talk about here at the Sofa Squad. And until we all meander on down there to do all that, I'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. And then like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Rosco on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.